7. Subject matter of the Quran. The subject matter of the Quran is Muhammad's inzar. Every page of the Quran speaks of this reality. The reason for this is that the Quran has not merely been revealed as an amalgam of Sharia and Hikmah, it has also been revealed to become the real means of the Prophet's inzar to his people. The Quran says, وَأُوهِيَ إِلَيَّ هَذَا الْقُرْآنِ لِأُنذِرَكُمْ بِهِ وَمَنْ بَلَغَ. And this Quran has been revealed to me that I may warn you through it and all whom it may reach. Surah number 6, verse 19. It is known that Muhammad ﷺ was not merely a Nabi or a prophet. He was also a Rasul or a messenger. Prophets are personalities whom the Almighty reveals divine guidance so that they can guide people. However, not every prophet is a messenger. Messengerhood is a position bestowed to only some prophets. According to its details furnished by the Quran, a Rasul decides the fate of his addressees and implements the judgment of God on them in this very world. The Quran informs us that this final phase in the preaching endeavor of a Rasul comes after it passes through the phases of Inzar, Inzar-Yam, Itmamul Hujjah, and Hijra wal-Bara. It is in this phase that the divine court of justice is set up on this earth. Punishment is meted out to the rejectors of the truth, and those who have accepted it are rewarded, and in this way a miniature day of judgment is witnessed on the face of the earth. The history of the preaching endeavors of the Rasul related in the Quran shows that at this stage, generally, either of the following two situations arise. Firstly, a Rasul has a few companions only, and there is no place available to him for migration. Secondly, a Rasul's companions are in substantial numbers, and the Almighty also furnishes a place to them where they can migrate and be bestowed with political authority. In both these situations, the established practice of the Almighty manifests itself, the practice which the Quran refers to in the following words. إِنَّ الَّذِينَ يُحَادُّونَ اللَّهَ وَرَسُولَهُ أُولَٰئِكَ فِي الْأَذَلِّينَ كَتَبَ اللَّهُ لَأَغْلِبَنَّ أَنَا وَرُسُلِي إِنَّ اللَّهَ قَوِيٌّ عَزِيزٌ. Indeed, those who are opposing Allah and His Messenger are bound to be humiliated. The Almighty has ordained, I and my messengers shall always prevail. Indeed, Allah is mighty and powerful. Surah number 58, verses 20 to 21. In the first situation, once a Rasul has left his people, divine punishment in the form of raging cyclones, storms, and other calamities descend upon those who have rejected him and completely destroys them. It is evident from the Quran that the people of Noah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, Lot sallallahu alaihi wasallam, Saleh sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and Shu'aib sallallahu alaihi wasallam, besides others, met with this dreadful fate. The only exception in this case were the Israelites. Since they primarily adhere to monotheism, instead of annihilating them, the punishment of subjugation was meted out to them once the Prophet Jesus sallallahu alaihi wasallam left them. In the second situation, a Rasul and his companions subdue their nation by force. In this case, the addressees of the Rasul are given some more respite, for he delivers the truth to the people of the place he has migrated to, till the extent that they too are left with no excuse to deny it. Also, during this time he instructs and purifies his followers and isolates them from his rejectors and organizes them to fight the enemy. He also consolidates his political authority in the place he has migrated to the extent that with its help he is able to destroy his rejectors and achieve victory for his followers. In the case of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, this second situation arose. Consequently, the subject matter of the Quran is the account of his inzar, which passed through various phases referred to above and culminated in the worldly reward and retribution of his addressees. Each of its surahs has been revealed in this background, and each of its groups has been arranged keeping it in view. While taking into consideration this subject matter of the Quran, the following three things should thus always remain in consideration before a student of the Quran vis-a-vis its exegesis and interpretation. Firstly, after deliberation on the contents of a surah, the exact phase in which it was revealed should be determined. So deep and accurate is a person required to go in this endeavor that he is able to very satisfactorily say that, for example, a surah has been revealed in the phase of inzar, or in the phase of migration and acquittal, or in the phase of reward and punishment. Each verse of a surah also should be interpreted keeping in view this distinction. Secondly, the addressees of each surah must be determined from among people present at the time of the revelation of the Quran. They could be the idolaters, the people of the book, the hypocrites, the Prophet ﷺ and his followers, or some specific group from among these denominations. It must also be determined if parts of a surah address a secondary addressee besides the primary one or not. Consequently, the antecedent of every pronoun, the referred to entity of every defining article alif lam, and the connotation of every term and expression should be determined in the light of the addressees of the surah. Thirdly, it must be determined specially in case of directives which relate to jihad, supremacy of the truth, and political authority as a result of the supremacy, whether they are a permanent directive of Sharia or if they specifically relate to the addressees of the prophetic times and the directive cannot be extended beyond these addressees.